All right, everybody, thanks for joining in. This episode, we're talking about another new movie. It's kind of weird. 2019 seems to be the year for new movies for us.
I know. What's going on with that?
I know, it's crazy. But we're talking about another movie, not only another new movie, but another movie from 2019, the same year we're recording in. And this movie came out relatively not even that long ago. I mean, we're talking about it shortly, less than a month after it officially came out. It was released on DVD on August 27th of 2019. But we are talking about 2019's The Banana Splits movie.
Now, I've kind of heard some little tidbits about this film before this was your choice, and I think I heard some things on Bloody Disgusting. That's probably, that's my main go-to place for horror news. And I know that. Are you familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy, or Five Nights at Freddy?
Yeah.
Freddy's?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my kids are older now, so they never got into that video game. But apparently, that was kind of a property that's been like tossed around that they're trying to make a movie out of for a long time, and I was kind of thinking it was going to be kind of along the lines of that, like Five Nights at Freddy is basically like the animatronics at a Chuck E. Cheese thing come alive, and this one's sort of like more of like I don't know. I guess if they were filming Barney shows live, which I don't think they did, and the people in the costumes would sort of come to life, and but in this they're actually robots.
Yeah, when I first saw something, I can't remember where I saw like a picture of it somewhere before I was even aware of what it was, and actually that's what I thought it was like a Five Nights at Freddy's movie almost, or something like a ripoff of that or something, before I had really started digging into this at all. And I should say too that this technically was not my pick. This was a listener suggestion.
That's right.
So,
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, so like we said in the past, if you guys have any suggestions out there, feel free to throw them our way, and we will add them to the what seems to be anymore the never-ending list of reviews that we have to get to. And we do have a couple of other listener suggestions that we have to get through yet. So if you've made a suggestion in the past, just be patient. We'll likely get to it eventually. And we want to give a shout out to Doug for the suggestion. Thanks, Doug. We appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't realize going into this that the Banana Splits was actually a real television show back in like the late 60s. Did you know that?
Really? No, I had no idea. So, did they look like that?
Yes, and it was like the real characters. So
really?
This movie is based off of the Banana Splits television series, which was like a Hanna-Barbera television series, like from like 68 to like 71 or something.
Wow.
Like it was a real thing. And at first when I saw that, like the Banana Splits television series, I thought that was like maybe a fake article, that you see, like, I mean, go back to like the Blair Witch Project and stuff when they were planting like fake articles out there and stuff. It's like, oh, this is the fake thing about the television show from the movie. But no, it was like a Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning thing with like these like, I mean, I'm assuming back in those days it was people in costumes or whatever, but I can't imagine. Maybe it was animatronics. I have no idea.
Well, the thing about this show, like at first I said it was kind of reminded me of like Chuck E. Cheese and then Barney, but actually it was more like this, like I guess the Banana Splits, and I've never seen it, and I didn't even know it was real. Was more like the Bozo show in a sense, right? Where you had like this live audience, and they would film.
Almost like the thing that when I was watching the movie was that it reminded me of was like a not so much Bozo, but more like Pee-wee's Playhouse more than anything, but with like animals. is the kind of the feel that I got from this. I don't know, maybe that's completely off the wall, but
kind of like that too. And it also reminded me of, which actually, now that I think of, if this came out in the 60s, then this was probably like what I'm about to say was probably like kind of ripping off that. Was, remember the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Remember when like the part in the movie where he's younger and he gets the job playing like the dog on the TV show? And do you remember that scene? There's like that big scene where he says goodbye to his girlfriend because he's more focused on money and working than he puts on the big dog costume, and like it's like this live kids show, and there's all these kids and parents in the audience, and he's like this goofy dog. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, so I bet you the banana splits probably took that concept from this.
Could be. Yeah, it's so weird. I had no idea this was based off an actual television series. And that just goes into the thing that we talk about every once in a while on this show, is that the only thing that we do in preparation for a review on this show is we sometimes watch the movie. But other than that, there's zero preparation.
That is true.
Which I think that's kind of become our shtick. But yeah, when I was looking this up, I was like, wait, what? That was real? No. And then so now I'm kind of curious. It's like, how the hell they got the rights to that? I mean, it's almost must be something like Night of the Living Dead or something, where Hanna-Barbera just let the rights for the banana splits just completely go to the wayside. And so a couple of schmucks were like, hey, let's make a movie about that.
Let's do a horror movie.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then, like, guess what? I secured the rights.
Yeah, that's funny because, because basically you don't see that type of crossover. Like, you don't take a kid's property and turn it into a horror movie unless, probably like you said, like the property somehow gets is nobody owns it. It might have, something like that might have happened. That's so weird. So it's in the 60s, you said?
Yeah, 68 through 71.
Weird.
So
so weird.
That would put that original television show, would have made it, like, if you were watching that when you were, say, like 7, 8 years old, right? You would be, like, at that time, you would have been 7 or 8 then, in like 68 to 71 or whatever. So you would have been born like in the early to mid 60s. And so now you're in your, 50s, maybe even closer to 60 than closer to 50. And you and your wife go to Redbox to rent a movie, and you see the Banana Splits movie, and you're like, what? I loved that show when I was a kid. And you're just like, they made a movie? That's awesome. We told it to be so nostalgic to get a nice bottle of red wine and, some cheese and crackers. And
there you go.
And let's watch this movie. And your wife's like, ooh, yeah, it'd be, Redbox and chill, yay. And then, you're 4 minutes in this movie, and, Snarky is ripping the arms off of somebody. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
That is so weird. It's hard to believe. Too funny.
Oh,
yeah, such a strange world.
The first complaint that I will have about this movie is, while it is available at Redbox and stuff, and maybe this is just the way that new digital movies are, but when we decided to do this movie, I had no idea that it was going to be like $6 just to rent the damn thing online.
Wait, yours was $6?
Like on Amazon, it was like $5.99.
Hold on a second. Let me check something, because mine was not that. I was actually, because when you were telling me about, go to Redbox for it to get it cheaper, I was expecting it to be like a $6 rental, like that $5.99 rental. And now that I'm checking my account real quickly here, it was $2.99.
Oh, man, I should have waited a week.
Yeah, because then I rented John Wick 3 last night. That was $3.99. So, so I got it for $2.99.
Oh, man, I paid like $5.99 for it. That's why I was telling you to go to Redbox. So I was like,
I I think I paid that much for Brightburn when we did that one.
Oh, did you? Well, that was a good movie. That was worth it.
Because that one was like that. At first, it was like you had to purchase it, and then waited a week, and then it was.
So that must be what they do. Is like when it first comes available for a rent, it must be like $6-7 or whatever that first week, and then drops down right away.
Yep. Right.
Now I know better. But yeah, that was my only complaint. Was like I paid like $6 for it, and I will say that this definitely is not worth $6 rental fee for one. You can only watch it like one time.
Well, unless you watch it back to back.
Right. Yeah.
Wake up the next morning and watch it again.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that good.
So, basically, the storyline, it's this kid who, I guess, and even the parents say, or the dad says, like, well, he's probably a little too old for this, but for whatever reason, he's still into the banana splits. And it's his birthday coming up, so they decide to take him to a live video shoot of the show, and he gets to bring one of his buddies with him, and he ends up picking a friend who's not really into the whole thing, and that's kind of where it starts.
I wonder how real that is. I mean, because I don't live anywhere near. Well, I suppose kind of Chicago-ish, I guess. But back when does the Bozo Show even exist anymore?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I remember that was kind of a big deal when we were kids, and I mean, I never went. Did you ever go to a taping of the Bozo Show?
Never went to it. Watched it every morning though before school.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to remember. I think we went to school with somebody that went one time.
I don't remember that.
Or maybe somebody was just telling us they went one time, or we're gonna go. I don't remember. But I remember like, oh, that'd be cool to go, because I remember like, back with the Bozo days, they always would pick random people from the audience to play the different games and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it ended in 2001.
Okay. So that would have been long after I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
But I remember like you want to talk about stuff like from when you're a kid. One of the things that I still do to this day is when I make my bed, I still put the pillow sheet or the pillow sheet on the pillow the way that I learned how to do it from the Bozo Show, from the stupid contest that they had on that show to see who could put the pillow sheet on the pillow the fastest.
Oh, too funny.
And I would guarantee you probably 75% of people that grew up watching the Bozo Show probably put their pillow sheets on their pillow the same way.
So there was a show where they did that, because I don't remember. I don't remember the show at all. I mean, I just remember like I don't like have any specific memories of a event of the show.
That's all I remember is like this contest they would do. So they would have like one where they would bring like two people out of the like audience, and they had to put the pillow sheet on the pillow the fastest. And you would always have like people that would do it the one way, where they like take the pillow sheet and then they take the pillow in one hand and they're trying to like stuff the pillow into the pillow sheet.
Oh, okay.
And then, but the people that would always win would be the people that would put the pillow under their chin, tuck their chin down, and then take the pillow sheet in both hands and then scoop it up under the bottom of the pillow and just like drop the pillow into it. So that's how I put a pillow sheet on. So
nice. The only thing I remember is the bucket game where you would have to. They
had the bucket game, and then they had I remember like Cookie was on there, and then they had
a
couple other stupid but I don't remember anything other than I don't remember any of the skits or anything they used to do on there. That's all I remember. I remember just the contests.
Yeah, because the ball game I remember very well, and my cousin actually had they sold that where you could get you go to the store and get like the Bozo buckets or whatever, and it was like basically a bunch of buckets connected to a strip, and you set them up and you try to throw a ball in them. So, I remember that very well. I don't remember what the prizes were, and I remember the voice of what's his name, Bozo, and obviously I remember Cookie too, his sidekick. But I don't. Man, it's so weird. It's like now you're making me want to go YouTube a bunch of Bozo shows.
Yeah, because we used to watch. I mean, even I used to watch it like every morning. I swear, like before school, even.
Yep, it was every morning before school on Channel 9, WGN. There's actually a really cool picture online of Bozo. It's like a picture from like their backs. It's a picture of Bozo next to Sven Gulli, like on a balcony looking over Chicago. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so back to the Banana Splits movie, though. But yeah, like you said, yeah, this family goes to a taping of the movie, and of course it's this, your typical modern day dysfunctional family. So it's a stepdad and the mother of two sons, and for whatever reason, the one thing I was trying to understand, or maybe you can help me refresh my memory on this. So he was a stepdad of the oldest son, but he was the dad of the youngest son. Was that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like he raised the oldest son, but there was a lot of animosity between the two of them.
And then of course the two sons are like 10 or 12 years apart in age. But it's the youngest kid's birthday, and they have a contest during the taping to see who can come backstage, and of course the family didn't win the contest, and so then the older brother kind of finagles it so they get to go backstage and meet the cast of the Banana Splits because the youngest son is such a huge fan, and so they go backstage with a couple other folks from the audience, and then that's when all the fun starts.
Refresh my memory if I'm wrong on this, but wasn't it because they wasn't the creator or like the guy who deals with the animatronics, didn't he like program them to do evil things because the show was canceled?
I don't know if it was see, that was kind of the thing where it wasn't really clear if it was on purpose or if it was just a thing where he had like updated one. And that was the other thing too, because it was weird because like he had pushed out a software update to one of them, and the software update was like bad, but then all of them were affected. So that's what was kind of.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed something then. I thought it was like he was like.
But I wasn't. I couldn't. It wasn't real clear if it was on purpose or not. It very well could have been.
Yeah.
And if that was the intent of the movie, then it just. I mean, either I missed it or it was. Yeah, it just wasn't 100% clear that's what was supposed to happen.
So maybe we both missed the most important part of the whole story. But
hole.
The weird thing about it was these particular costumes that the Banana Splits were wearing. It was clearly like a person in a suit, and I mean it didn't have the animatronic look at all. Like you compare that to like something you'd see at Chuck E. Cheese behind the stage, and this was not the same thing at all. I mean, and you could tell by like it's basically like it's like a Barney costume basically. It's like the whole like toss somebody in the costume, put on the big giant head mask, and you're good. And so, like, the idea that they decided to make this, like animatronics was kind of weird at first because it was like, you look at these costumes, like, these aren't robots. These are, and like, no robot's going to be able to, like, wander around behind, backstage or anything like that. I mean, like, you go to a Chuck E. Cheese and all those robots are, like, stationary. They're stuck to the ground and they just kind of move around in their areas, but they don't like go. It's not like they're able to go wander around anywhere, which was kind of like I bet you the original Banana Splits. I bet you they were all like guys in costumes.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look it up later now and see. Maybe it was like a Chuck E. Cheese thing, and they just maybe they had like voice. They had people that were doing like the voiceover stuff, but then they were just like animatronics. It could be. I mean, I could see that to where they just like have like simple like movements or whatever, and then there's like guys just doing different voices, not different voices, but different lines every week or whatever.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's like at Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, how often did they change up the stories at the Chuck E. Cheese? Like back when it was like actual. Yeah, I mean, like when we were kids and they actually had animatronics and stuff there. I mean, could you go to like Chuck E. Cheese like once every 6 months and then they would like have like a different set or tell like different jokes or something?
No, I don't think so. I think it was like back in the day. I think Chuck E. Cheese was basically, well, the ones that we had when we were kids, the one like in the town over or whatever. It was just basically animatronic setup, and they were programmed to sing songs and all of that. I don't think it changed ever really. So
Yeah.
certainly didn't walk around. I mean, they were just
No. Yeah, I knew that, but I mean, like, just like kind of move. And see, that's why I wonder with the original Banana Splits if it ever, like, if it was animatronics, if it was just kind of the same like movements every time, but then like the different voice, like they would just voice over different stuff every time. I have no idea what that show was. I would imagine it was probably like a lot of skits and stuff, or a lot of cartoons and stuff. I have no idea. Somebody will let us know.
So what did you think of the movie then? What are your thoughts?
Well, I gotta say a couple of things. The first thing I was thinking of when I was watching the movie, outside of the fact that it, like I said, when I originally had seen like not clips, but photos and stuff online, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Somebody's ripping off Five Nights at Freddy's. That's weird. But like actually watching the movie, you know what it reminded me of, or made me feel of, was I had to say when I was watching this, I almost had the feeling that this and the movie Terrifier were like in the same universe. Like it had that same like lighting and the same kind of bad acting. To where, I mean, it really felt like it was, if you would have seen the clown from Terrifier walk on set for another thing, like, hey, your stage is over there, like, oh shit, sorry, let me go, you'd been like, oh yeah, okay, I get it, I see it.
Too funny. Yeah, because I pictured like is this a obviously this was never released in theaters. It doesn't have that feel to it. So to me it felt like a Netflix original or something. It had that very like online streaming, like the special effects seemed very very much a TV or I guess a modern day streaming TV type of.
Well, it is coming to the Sci-Fi Channel in October.
Well, there you go. That makes sense.
So yeah, that definitely has that feel too. I would agree with you too on there. The story overall, I mean, for what it was okay, I guess. It was a little hokey, and it was honestly a little slow moving at first until they kind of got into the good stuff towards the end of the movie. And if it wouldn't have been for the lady who played the mom in the movie, even though she wasn't the most spectacular actress or anything, but I think her name was Danny Kind. Other than her, I mean, there wasn't too much to keep your attention throughout the movie, like I said, until stuff kind of really got going. I mean, to me, it was kind of boring until it really picked up. So, and maybe that's just me getting, you're watching a movie like this and you're kind of like, let's go. Because I mean, a direct to video movie like this, you're not expecting an Oscar performance by anybody, but to me, I thought at first it was a little slow paced.
There was a little slow burn to it, but it kind of hit all the beats that I think I was expecting for this type of movie. The whole idea of, okay, so these robots are going to start killing people, and sure enough they do, and then you've got a few pretty gory kills, and they had a lot of the practical effects too, which was kind of interesting with this. And it's funny because I think we talked about it before, like practical effects now all look the same. Like back in the day, back in like the 70s and 80s, like the practical effects always had like their own unique thing. Like if you look at Dawn of the Dead, it had this unique, like the way he Tom Savini did like the blood and the color of the blood and the stretchiness of the skin or whatever. Then you look at like the Howling and like the practical effects of that are so different compared to like Friday the 13th movies, later ones, and it's just like everything always seems so different. Like nowadays, it seems like they must have like a universal. This is what we use for gore scenes, and this is what it's going to be. And it doesn't look bad. I think it looks pretty good, but it's like kind of funny to watch a movie and like, oh yeah, because it reminded me of like, I don't know, like pretty much the practical effects in this reminded me of all the gore scenes I had seen in probably the last more modern horror movies we've talked about lately.
Yeah, which is weird that we're kind of complaining about practical effects, but
I don't know that I'm complaining about it. I think it's just like one of those things where I feel like
somebody needs to step up and kind of get their own signature back.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess now like doesn't have a uniqueness to it anymore. I guess.
Right.
It was one of those films for me where I kind of figured like I'd probably enjoy it to some degree, and I did. And I like sat back, I watched it. It kind of had that sort. It wasn't like obviously it wasn't very scary. It didn't have like a scare element that that with a horror movie that you sometimes hope for. Well, this is more like kind of the horror comedy. So I wasn't expecting it, but it did. It was enjoyable enough. I kind of sat back and had my popcorn and my beer and kind of kicked back and watched it. And I thought I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I will say that it definitely, like I said, it wasn't something I was going into going like, oh man, this is going to be earth shattering. And, I sat there and I did watch it. So yeah, I would agree. This is definitely something if you're going to watch, you definitely want some beer and popcorn to go along with it. And
oh yeah, big time.
I don't know if this would be one. Well, I guess, it depends. If this type of, not that there's really that many other movies out there I can think of that fall into this exact category of movies, but if this is kind of your thing, watching these stupid old child television series horror crossovers, if that's your thing, then maybe this would be something that come into your regular viewing rotation. For me, I can't imagine that I'll be throwing this on every Halloween. So I'd have to put, like I kind of already mentioned it once before, I think I'll put this one in the same, kind of like on the same shelf of like Terrifier and stuff, to where when I first heard about it and stuff and started seeing some stuff on, I was like, oh, I got to check that out. And then I checked it out and I was like, okay. Yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's what I was expecting. So,
yeah, it reminded me sort of the later, probably closer to the last Child's Play movie, even just sort of the vibe I got, like,
yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
Not quite as, I think that Child's Play movie had a better budget for the most part, and like some of the death scenes were obviously better with Child's Play, but it just kind of gave me that vibe, or just the way it was produced, and with the kid, and I don't know, just.
No, that exactly goes to what I was saying before. So that's exactly what the link I was missing. It is 2019's Child's Play meets Pee-wee's Playhouse.
There you go. Perfect.
That's exactly what it is. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that I give this one a soft thumbs up. I'm not going to go big thumbs up on this one.
Yeah.
But I would, if you're looking for something stupid to watch, throw it on. I wouldn't spend $5.99 on it, but if you can find it for $1.99 or $2.99, what the hell?
I agree with that. A very soft thumbs up. It's one of those films where, yeah, this isn't going to be a classic. We're probably never going to talk about this again in the horror community, but it's like, is it worth just kind of kicking back and watching? Sure, why not? Grab some popcorn, some beer, go ahead and give it a shot. I think it's definitely like a very Netflix type of film. It's got that feel to it. It's all over the place, where it's something that you can see streaming. I see this as like a good version of a Netflix film, as opposed to like Zombies. That was like a very terrible version of a Netflix film. So I'll give this one a soft thumbs up as well. Grab your popcorn, your beer, and enjoy.